everyone, welcome to the Ultimate Gardening channel. My name is Emmanuel Arce, well known to be the Ultimate Gardener. In today's exciting sprouting video, I want to discuss with you guys upon the basics you need to learn on how to grow in cloth pots or cloth pot raised beds. If you haven't noticed already, this video is a partnership with Smart Pots, so a huge shout out to them. I absolutely love their company and they sent out a few products for me to review in this video, as well as the product I'm in right now. So I already built a station that we're going to be discussing over there in a different area in the garden. So let's go ahead and move over there and just jump right into this video. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video on how to learn on basics you need to learn on how to grow in cloth pot containers or raised beds. So coming at number one has to be choosing the perfect growing medium. Choosing the perfect medium is really important because that will determine the amount of crops or yields you'll receive from that container or raised bed. I know a whole bunch of gardeners out there love to save money, but when it comes to concept like this one, it's really important you're able to take the precautions you need to learn on how to do the best you can possibly do. And one of those has to be choosing a bit better quality of a growing medium than if you would have chosen a cheaper one. I've done the mistake of getting the cheaper one, and the thing I've noticed with my Smart Pots is that they will become rock solid hard if you don't completely amend that soil, and the complete performance of the plant is completely bad compared to when I switched out the soil and used a way better soil. So you want to make sure it's really important to choose the perfect growing medium that is perfect for your containers or raised beds so you can get the best possible performance from your plants. So coming at number two, which ties into number one, is having a set fertilizing schedule. Having a set fertilizing schedule will increase the performance of your plants because your plants are only going to give you what you give them. So if you give them no fertilizer, they're going to give you a very, very scarce yield of crops. But if you give them the love and attention they need and give them fertilizer, they'll give you everything they could possibly give you and give you great harvest season after season after season. So you want to make sure you have a set fertilizing schedule. When it comes to cloth pot containers or raised beds, I always recommend fertilizing with liquid fertilizer because not only are you able to use a little bit of that substance every single time you fertilize, but also because it accesses the root system way easier than if you were going to go granule fertilizer, which you would use way more substance of that, and it would take a longer time for your plants to get fertilized over its growing season. So make sure you use what's best for you, but me personally, I would always recommend going liquid fertilizer and always organic, but always use what's best for you. So coming at number three is having a set watering schedule. This is really important because these cloth pots or cloth pot raised beds will drain out water very easily, and they dry out very easily as well because the material is cloth, so they're very porous. So you want to make sure you have a set watering schedule so your plants can have some type of water supply to draw in and they don't dry out as often. When it comes to my cloth pot, I usually water them about 3 times a week because they get really dried out, especially here when temperatures get really hot. But if you live in an area where it's really humid like I do, you're able to go ahead and adjust that to maybe even 2 times per week or even 1 time if it rains a lot. Or if you live in a drought area, you would have to adjust that to more watering per week. But it totally depends on where you live and how you're able to do your watering schedule that is more adjusted to how you're able to do it. But make sure you have a firm watering schedule for these containers. So coming at number 4 is choosing the perfect location for your Smart Pots cloth pot or raised bed. It's really important, the medium, the watering, the fertilizing, but it's also important the location you locate your pot or raised bed, because a lot of plants out there, especially these containers, are used for vegetable gardening. I barely see anybody using these for flowers because they have the landscape to do that for, and so you want to locate this in an area which receives tons and tons of sun. I did an experiment where I put some Smart Pots containers in shade and some in the... Anyways, back to what I was saying. I put some in the shade and I put some in the sun, and the ones that performed better was the ones in the sun than the ones in the shade, because a lot of these plants are full sun loving plants and they require lots and lots of sun. So you want to make sure you are able to have and collect data on your garden and which parts of your garden receives more shade, sun, anything like that. You want to make sure you have that on Anyway, so you want to make sure you have your location set and ready for your smart pots because you want the best performance ever, which means you have to give them the proper sunlight for them to succeed. Coming at number 5, which is our final point, is choosing the best crop that works for you. Me personally, I always tell every gardener that is willing to try or has these in their hand, that is a beginner gardener, for these types of concept of gardening, I always tell them to be open-minded and have a variety of plants to start with because they always want to choose what works best for them. So after every growing season that you're able to grow vegetables in these containers, I always recommend alternating your crops to see what works best for you. Me personally, I always have success growing root crops. For example, I was able to harvest a beautiful harvest of potato mint as well as my first set of ginger out of the Smart Pots Junior Raised Beds, which is a product they did send out months ago for me to try out. Amazing product, and I was able to get amazing yields of these types of crops. So you always want to grow what works best for you in general. So just be open-minded and always have a ton of varieties to try out of and go what works best for you. So that's going to be it for this exciting sprouting video, you guys. That is everything you need to learn on the basics on how to grow in cloth pots or in cloth pot raised beds. Once again, a huge shout out to Smart Pots for partnering with us on this video I'm representing today, and I love their merch that they sent out to me. So a huge shout out to them. All their media links are down below as well as any products that were mentioned in this video as well. And the product you saw me in the beginning of this video was their huge round raised bed, which is 100 gallons for a gardener. I am trying this product out for the first time and I am super excited, and I'll definitely make a video on it for you guys. So all these product links and all their media links are down below for you guys to check out. A huge shout out to them. They're an amazing company and I absolutely love them. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you learned something new, please leave a like down below. And while you're down there, please consider subscribing to the Ultimate Gardening channel to show us some support. And also leave me any comments down below on this video on what you thought on this video, as well as any video suggestions you would like me to do. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and never forget to grow big, Ultimate Gardeners. Bye guys.